We now move to the next item, which is Planning and Growth Management Committee Meeting 23, PG 23.1. City-initiated official plan and zoning bylaw amendments, Yonge-Eglinton Centre, focused review, final report, Wards 16, 22, 25, Statutory Planning Act, RSO 1990. Councillor Walker, you held the item?
I did.
Do you have questions first?
No, I don't have any questions, but I have amendments.
Okay, please place those first.
If they are, the clerk has got them. Could they put them up on the screen?
Okay.
Can the There are three of them. The first one is altering a word in the official plan relative to strata plans to limit the height to 40 floors shall be utilized on city-owned lands to implement the objectives of this plan. And then the other recommendations are relative to any request for proposals from the city include the development principles in the new official plan, zoning bylaw, and that include the strata upper limits. And the last one is requested for proposals include a fairness monitor to be selected with the approval of the city and the TTC, if it's the TTC. Out of the Minto development fiasco up at Yonge-Eglinton came a request for setting up a proposal to review the official plan for Yonge-Eglinton and to develop new zoning bylaw requirements so that we don't face that in the future. Because the plan that we had was old and the zoning bylaw was very old. That focus review process met. It was included representatives of the TTC and representatives from the community and representatives from planning and representatives from the various councillors' offices, Councillor Stintz, Councillor Jenkins, and my office, who attended all of the meetings in the community. They met for 4 years and they came forward with this plan. And this plan had consensus at the end of it in terms of support from the community and support from planning staff and support from the TTC. In 2006, at the same time, the TTC came forward with a report. It's a confidential report dated May the 18th of 2006, dated May the 17th, and it approved that development control mechanisms proposed in this report of the TTC that the principal mechanism included in the RFP would be the stratified upper limit of the lands available for the sale or lease of a lease. And this was transmitted to government services, and they received it for information. So the TTC came to that position at the same time we finished our official plan. We held a draft official plan and rezoning. We held a public meeting in the community. There was general support. And then the final report wasn't completed because, I don't know exactly why, because we tried to get it so we could hold a final meeting on the sign report in the fall of 2006. That didn't occur until the report was signed in January this year, held a meeting right after that. But in the interim from that, at the request of the commissioners of the TDC, on November the 15th, 2007, in Meeting Room D, I had a meeting with my executive assistant, plus councillors Giambroni, Thompson, and de Bearmaker, plus staff from the TTC, to get my view on this focused review official plan. And the questions were placed by Councillor Giambroni mainly to me whether I was in favour of the focus review process, and would there be any problems with directing the planners to finish the process with a final report. And I said I was fine with them. I was surprised that there was this consensus, and was surprised at the numbers, because they were large numbers. On the development block that has the real potential along Eglinton Avenue West is from Yonge Street. It was 40 stories and 9 times coverage. And then on the internal blocks, it went to 7 times coverage. And on the piece of land that wasn't in the city's jurisdiction, it was 4.5. Mixing with real support for commercial activities and office uses, because we want this to remain a commercial center as well as just for residential. And then the councillor asked me about what were the things that I really wanted out of this, and I gave these 4 points, and that was the affirmation of a strata plan be used in the sale of the lands, and that the TDC process to sell the lands would involve a citizen monitor in the RFP process, and the proposed park be a top priority, and the proposed internal road be a top priority. Out of that process came the meeting that we held in the community.
All in favor, opposed, carried.
We held the meeting in the community on January the 22nd that nearly 200 residents came to. And it was after the initial shaky start because of some concerns relative to the TTC's escalators not working along the subway line. We got into there was support in the community, and I was at the front. I had to answer a lot of the questions with Mr. Nanos and other staff from the planning. But there was support, and we, Councillor Stintz, Councillor Jenkins, and myself, who were at the meeting, along with Councillor Parker, we indicated our support for this report. There were alterations or attempted alterations at the Planning and Growth Management, but I'm coming forward with adopt this report with those 3 amendments. If you do this, what transpires out of all of that is that we have a plan that represents. This report represents good planning. This report represents good faith with the community. And we had to buy into this process after going through the disaster of Minto. Does the report represent a compromise with the community and the TDC? Obviously it did, but one that is a win-win. And does it represent good value for public land? Yes. And this report from the TDC says that it does. With the stratified plan, it represents good value. Has the use of a strata plan been discussed since the beginning of the working group process in 2002? The answer is yes to that. Has the TTC recommended to City Council the strata development control mechanism be included in their RFP process? The answer is yes to that. And is this TDC confident that the strata plan will give...
Councillor Walker. Thank you. All right.